right. So you concluded your business in the village of Kurimeru, and you're heading northeast to the capital, to the citadel of Hazurium. You're traveling by foot. This nice, well, it's fall, right? It's a bit chillier now than in the full blast of summer. Anyway, you were heading out from the village of Kurimeru, heading to the citadel. You were traveling. Most of the landscape around here is covered in fields, and already in the distance you can start seeing the shape of the citadel. Imagine a little bit like the city of Gondor. The whole city has been built into one enormous fort, which has very many layers. If that gives you a picture.
Layers like onions or layers like cake?
Layers like cake. A little bit of both, though, because they're circles within circles, but they also staple like a cake.
An onion.
Are there surrounding like fields around the city, or is like everything inside the city?
No, everything is inside the city, but the fields are outside of the city because the fields is ground. That's where you're traveling. You're traveling amongst fields with peasants, probably doing the last harvest for this year, unless there's some fall crops I'm not aware of. And you know that at least one more small village is in between you and your destination.
Well, if we can get there within a day, I guess we're going to aim for Ver to sleep in an inn instead of outside.
Can we see the citadel from here, like in the distance?
Yeah.
But we think that it's going to take more than a day to actually go there.
It's hard to say, but it's very, very distant. Like you see it on the horizon.
Do we know if they have like a last curfew, like when they let people into the city? So we know that like, we could probably march, but we might miss like the reception time.
Well, it's the biggest city in the world. Have any of you ever been there previously? Probably not. No? Yes?
I don't know. I was thinking about could have gone there for like information about like dragons and stuff and missions. He is a bit of a mercenary type person. So
he's young. Maybe.
Huh?
He's young. Maybe it's his first excursion to the citadel.
True.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a big city, and the bigger the city is, the less it sleeps. If you know what I mean. I mean, if a village would close its gates in the evening, it's because they don't have the manpower to protect it. But if there's people to man the gates and there's no immediate danger in the area, you don't see a reason for why they should close the gates, especially in such a humongous fortress. Might prove difficult.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to find a fitting image for how I would like that to look. I should have done that before, but I haven't.
Well, then I guess that we are pressing towards the town, but...
The town is the road you're traveling with a lot of other merchants and sort of people transporting their goods is right on the way to the citadel. So depending on, it doesn't really matter. You can make the decision if you're staying there for the night or not once you get there.
Yeah, that's what I was aiming for.
Sometime after lunchtime, you arrive at a small farmer village by the name of Dilbat. It's a farming village, like I mentioned, with wooden houses covered with straw roofs. It's not a particularly big village, but enough to have a town square. And for there to be a little bit of hustle and bustle in this harvest season. This is more of a village where kids are playing, on the streets. Seems calm and idyllic. Obviously, these people probably spend their lives providing food for the citadel. Yeah, I don't really know what else to mention about this village. Once you arrive, the city square catches your eye as there's a huge oak in the middle of the city square with a bunch of notices posted on it. It's one of the very few trees you've seen since you've left the forest where Kurimer was located and made your way into the open fields right outside of the citadel.
No, I'm a curious person, and I know where you can usually find work. So I look at the notices if there's anything that catches my eye.
Well, there is in fact a huge poster hanging there, the biggest of them all, on a bit of parchment with big red letters at the top. Reward. Below the sign, below the text, is a picture of a what you commonly would refer to as a griffin, a lion-bodied creature with the head and wings of a hawk.
That's a strange name for a griffin.
You mean for the griffin to be called Griffin?
No, it's called Reward.
Anyway, as you continue reading on this wanted poster, it says that a griffin has been recently terrorizing the town, scaring the peasants, making them unable to work, and killing and kidnapping livestock. The peacekeepers, sanctioned by the... what was it called now again? Sorry, I just have to check one name. Has offered an official charter to the adventuring companies to bring in, the head of the griffin for a reward equal to 2,000 crowns.
So I point at this and I was like, so we should do a thing. We should
do a thing?
Well, we should find the griffin. I mean, we should take it down.
Don't bother! You hear a very sort of annoying, sneering voice coming, and when you turn to the direction, you see a youth with hair covering his eyes, blonde hair, with a lot of zits on his face and a straw hat pulled sort of to the back of his head. The best adventuring company in the entire queendom is already on it. You small upstarts don't stand a chance.
Let's kill him.
Mara, I couldn't agree with you more.
Ha! I knew it. You're not even a proper company. You're just a ragtag band of looters and freebooters. Oh, I bet you don't even have a proper charter.
So he was talking about a charter.
Yeah.
And that is something that recognized adventuring guilds have, so they're allowed to do stupid things.
Yeah, I mean, you would most likely know about it. A charter is a way for the kingdom to sort of make it official that there is such a thing as an adventuring group, and that they can do certain things and not actually be outlaws. It's a good way for the queendom to sort of actually prevent the groups from descending into tactics of being brigands, and make them sort of official by giving them titles, like a payment and stuff like that. The most known group of adventurers are the Black Moon Explorers. The Black Moon Explorers are so well respected that they actually have been granted the powers of peacekeepers, or peacemakers rather. And peacemakers is like the official police force in the queendom that act on the queendom's behalf. Excuse me?
No, never mind.
There's of course hundreds of smaller groups that don't have as much recognition.
So as a adventurer, when I read this, do I basically get the feeling that if we as non-chartered adventurers killed the griffin, they would say, fuck you guys, you don't get any money? Or would we be in trouble even because we're uncharted and pretending to be adventurers?
Are you uncharted though?
That's up to you.
Can you only get charted at the capital, which we have never been in?
Yes.
Well then, yes, we are all uncharted. Hide the remainings of the golem before someone sees what we've done.
You should definitely investigate that.
Yeah, well, hope the griffin eats you.
So I say, well, I wouldn't mind seeing a chartered adventuring guild do their thing. If nothing else, we can see it as a field, excursion.
You just want to join their guild, don't you?
I don't know who it is. It could be a bunch of assholes.
Ha! The great dragon slayers are not
Hey,
assholes.
kid! I wasn't talking to you. Go away.
Well, just don't bother them.
Go away. Jeez. Ugh. Kids. So, I asked someone who looks more helpful in which direction these dragon slayer dudes, or ladies, or people, went. In which direction?
Dragon Slayer? Wasn't it the Black Moon
No,
Explorer?
that was the biggest.
Oh.
He was the annoying kid was talking about dragon slayers.
No, the biggest was the Dark Moon or something.
Yeah, but the Dark Moon Explorers could all be Dragon Slayers.
Yeah, but then he would have said the Black Moon people.
How do you know? He's an idiot.
True. Fine. The random adventurers.
I mean, he did say the biggest adventuring party were on it, so that would be the Black Moon Explorers.
I guess you were listening to him more than I was.
Well, I mean, I wasn't ready to cut him down.
Neither was I. Not seriously, at least. But yeah, so if there's anyone who looks more helpful than this douchebag, I would ask.
If they're around here, there can't be that many places.
I mean, if they've already left the village to try and find this
Griffin.
It's basically just fields around here, right, Adam?
Yeah, there's fields and hills. There's a forest from where you came from. There might be some different forest groves, Betesmark, whichever that is in English. What is that?
Pasture.
Grazing.
Pastures.
Yeah, pastures.
Pastures and stuff like that. Quite open. There's orchards also.
But yeah, I will probably ask the first best person who looks non-annoying.
There was
Why are you talking to me?
2 hours later.
There was a craftsman, a fat, bearded sort of person with an apron, leaning against the wall of a nearby building, smoking a pipe. And observing the whole scene, he sort of notices that you catch his eye, looking around for someone helpful, and nods at you.
Well, I come towards him and I smile like, my good sir, I was wondering if you could be of some assistance.
Aye.
The youth mentioned that there was an adventuring guild who've come by recently.
Aye.
Do you know in which direction they've gone? Or if they're still
Aye.
in town? Could you tell us?
Take the eastern road out of town and keep traveling for a quarter of a day. That's where the griffin attacks occur the most. And that's the way the adventuring party went.
Oh, very good, sir.
Are these
Aye.
are these griffin attacks common?
Nay.
Man of few words, eh?
Aye.
Well,
Good man, thank you. I tip him. I don't know I don't know what an
Crowns.
I don't know what a appropriate amount of crowns would be. 5?
1.
Give him one. I don't remember.
Dude, like, didn't we say like 2 crowns was enough for buying a ration or a meal for a day or something? No, it depends on the size of the meal.
Yeah, usually does.
I honestly don't remember.
Well, I'll just say 1 crown.
So, ale, a glass of ale is 2 crowns.
Where
Okay,
did you
well,
find that?
It's on page 90 in the core book.
Well, fine, give him 2 crowns then so we can buy a beer.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's a useful page. There's just random stuff on it, like.
So this doesn't happen, but just when you say you tip him 2 crowns, I get this weird feeling that it's like, I throw it on the ground! I don't need your charity! I'm an adult!
Okay.
It's a song by Lonely Island. They have this song where it's like a bunch of people are nice to the main character, and he's always like this huge dick about it.
Fair enough.
I leave you the link so you can watch it later.
Sure. But I look to the rest of you like, so it's not in it's not in the direction we're supposed to go towards the capital, right?
No, it's not.
So
Fine, we'll go kill the thing, or you'll just bother us the rest of the trip. Like, oh, I could have killed the big thing, but you didn't let me kill the big thing. Fine, we'll go kill the big thing!
Well, there is that, and also observing an adventure guild in, practice.
Oh, they're probably dead by now.
We can go there and loot their corpses.
I like the way you think. You know what?
Says my spirit animal.
You know what? Even if they didn't survive the griffin, who says accidents happen? You know, they might have been dead by the griffin.
We could finish them off and take their stuff.
No.
No. No.
Funny, but no.
As long as there are no witnesses, we don't.
I am a witness. It's no.
Have you seen this
it's all
fine
right
yet
now.
rustic architecture?
No, I say for walking down. I can imagine the next hour is basically you guys saying random stupid things and me just saying no.
Probably.
And me silently pondering what would happen if I set fire to either one of you.
I'm against killing possibly innocent people. Why
Yeah,
would
I didn't mean you.
Oh, fair enough. Good.
Okay, well,
Yes.
Does any one of us know anything about griffins except that they're big lion eagle type things that murder people?
Well, I have
dragon
villaged
lore.
in survival, and I probably think that we should not try and pet it or fly it.
What did you say, Mike, you had?
I have dragon lore. That doesn't really help here.
Well, you can roll Dragon Lore at a -1 difficulty.
Actually, wilderness lore, would it fall over that?
Yes, it will.
So what's the initial difficulty?
4.
Well, then it's still 4 because I'm trained, so -1 + 1.
Yeah, so actually it's completely pointless for me to say that.
No, you've increased the difficulty by 1 in my lore.
Oh
So-
yeah, if you were specialized, you would have gotten +1.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If
If anybody has,
Can I help? If I'm trained in wilderness.
I think you should just roll separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn you, Mike!
I rolled a 1, so GM intrusion.
Is it a 4 of a difficulty for me too?
Yes.
Do I want to spend XP on this? No, it's more fun with the GM intrusion.
What?
You rolled a 2.
Yeah. You
So
and me,
you-
bro.
So I fumbled, so you have a GM intrusion on me, Adam. So I know something completely off about griffins.
They like to burrow.
Yes. Or they're vulnerable to water. You can
Right,
stop
premonition.
So you use this power to learn about the griffin?
Yes.
So a random fact from a person or location that's pertinent to the topic you designate. So it could be we're all dead. It's by a hill. It likes ice cream.
All right.
Mike is wrong.
Yes, that could also be something you learn. Whatever comes out of Ur's mouth about the griffin is completely wrong.
So, Death Star, you learn that the griffin's nest is hidden in the grounds of a cherry orchard east of town.
The griffin's nest is hidden in a
Cherry tree orchard.
cherry tree orchard. Isn't orchard like where you grow crops and stuff?
Trees specifically for fruit.
Okay.
How big are griffins?
We don't know.
That's
That was not the random fact.
I'm just thinking if they're like a small pony, you said.
Like a kitty cat.
Then I suppose it could fit on a treetop.
Or maybe it's a really, really huge cherry tree.
Like this oak in the middle of town.
Or in that old story about Jacob Danfelken.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big beanstalk.
Yep.
But yeah, so Adam, if there's any other misinformation other than the size of the griffin you want me to introduce, just say so.
I'm just thinking because I think what your character think is that griffins are primarily airborne creatures. You know that they fight and attack in the air. So as long as you make it land, it's pretty harmless.
Okay.
So when I use
share this information.
Okay, we'll just have to force it to land then.
When I use premonition, you see me like start chanting and going into a trance. And do I have any spells or something that can give off glowing light?
Sure.
I would like to cast that for special effects.
Yeah, it's not a
So
Yes.
it says for not nanos. What are they called in
Paradox.
paradoxes? Basically, most of their abilities in like Earth, it just seems like coincidences or a random insight. But here we're in a magic world, so basically all of your powers are magic flavored. So if you want premonition, has a light effect or a trance effect or a wavy hands effect. So you don't actually have to use anything else. You just fluff it however you want. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It's just cool if you do.
Yeah, it's just, it's awesome. Continue.
Yeah, so you see me start waving and chanting, and my robes start flowing as if there is a fan opposite to me. And
How unmagical of you.
A breeze.
And on my robes, it looks like there are runes that start glowing in. Do you know opals? The rocks. They have like different colors in them depending on how light is reflected. So these runes kind of have the similar effect. And they glow in a pattern, and then after a few moments everything just fades back to reality. And I mentioned the fact about the griffin's nest is probably it is in the cherry top in some orchard nearby.
Cool. I look pretty impressed by the light show. Well, Dave, that is useful information. Hopefully that will let us get before the adventurers, if they're alive. And I look at Shadow.
Yeah, accidents happen.
Well, you continue on our merry way.
Okay, so what's our plan of attack here? We just lure it down to the ground and flank it, stab it. We keep it occupied while, or rather, Mr. Dragon Slayer here keeps it occupied while the rest of us pepper it with arrows
Well, I
or
would say
magic.
try and get it in the trees, because then it can't really easily fly. It can't really extend its wings. We will have, hopefully a tree or two between us and it. It will make our lives easier. So lure it in between the trees.
Okay.
Just my thought.
That'll also block our lines of attack if we're going to shoot it.
Well, it's an orchard, so it's usually pretty straight lines. So,
I suppose.
sort of like a grid system. So
Are griffins sentient?
I don't know.
think so. They're probably like smart animals or dumb animals.
Okay. What if it is sentient? Maybe we can negotiate with it.
Negotiate what? The reward said they wanted it dead, didn't it?
Oh, but maybe it has treasures. But never mind. We can.
We could always ask it politely, but then again, if people were able to ask it politely to leave, I believe they would have.
Yeah. Probably.
But you never know. People are funny that way.
That is very true.
Well,
All right.
Do we pass any peasants or farm hands or whatnot?
You pass a carcass of a cow outside of the town, a couple of, let's say, 45 minutes outside of the town, a walk. There's definitely less people out here the further you go from the town, but sure, if you have something you want to ask just as you're leaving the town, you should be able to not yak someone.
Excellent. Excuse me, kind sir. We're looking for a cherry orchard. It's supposed to be here east of town. Do you know of it?
Cherries. Mayhap. Must be old Bob that grows them cherries 2 hours from here. It's barely on the vicinity of the village. How come you be looking for the cherries? You're not cherry snatchers, are you?
Oh heavens, no, good sir. But well, I'm representing a woman who's starting up a bakery in what was the name of the capital?
Azurium.
Hazurium, and we're looking for a cherry supplier for some cherry pies.
Well, then you can go back to town. Bob is in the tavern since the Griffin's been bordering that part of town.
Ah, excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, hop on the cart. I'll give you a lift.
Oh no, I'll have to do it later on then. We have some urgent business this way. But thank you very much for the information.
He gives you the suspicious eye.
You want to check the potential goods before we get into any negotiations, I say.
He sort of rides off on his cart while still giving you the suspicious eye.
Yeah. Well, at least it seems to check out if the creature's been around that area. Might be well put up a lair in his orchard.
Yep. So when we find the carcass of the cow, you said?
Yes.
I just want to quickly look at if it died by huge fucking claws or natural causes or half-eaten or
Do you have anything in anatomy medicine or something like that?
No, but I do have survival, and part of the backstory, I've in the field killed animals for food and sustenance. So if there's
Are there arrows sticking out of it? Is there
No,
some big chunk of it missing?
It's been very obviously eaten by a huge beast animal. If you would want a comparison on Earth, you would be going for maybe a bear